Look how caked up your boy is today.
Wow.
Been doing some squats.
Wow.
Look at that ass.
Good, dude.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
Evil
We are
Knievel
live.
Just double caked up on a Monday for no reason, bro.
America.
Jesus. Oh, I can't believe I just showed my butt to a stranger, Dan. Look at you. You're back, bro. I thought this guy was gone, skis.
Shut up.
Jesus.
No, I'm here.
All right. Well, you made me forget to put this banner up because of who you are as a person, so I just did that. Look at that down there. Hey, everybody, go follow us on stuff, huh? What do you think?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I haven't really got shit to talk about. Dan, who are you? What's going on, man?
Welcome back, buddy.
I know, right, man? It feels like it's been 6 months because it's probably been like 4.
It's been a hot sec, huh?
Yeah, I've been working, but I'm here.
He's here.
I'm excited.
I love it. Beautiful. Let's go ahead. Let's just get it started. We got a fun one today, I think, huh?
I think so too.
Perfect.
You're listening to the Upper Decker Podcast.
Hey, welcome back to the Upper Decker Podcast. I'm your boy, Ty.
I'm your boy, Tone.
And I'm your boy, Dan.
And all three of the boys are back in town. Hell yes. Hey, Google, play The Boys Are Back in Town. What's good? I wonder if she's going to do it. Hold on. Can you hear it?
Yelling at you?
I can't hear it.
Volume at 100. Can you hear it now?
I can hear that something is playing. There it is.
Yeah. Boys are back. Hey, Google, stop. I don't play her. She don't listen to me when she gets rowdy like that. All right, boys.
Not listening to you? That's got to be a first.
Hey, you know what? It's the smartest thing to do, even for an AI little programmy little circle boy like this. She knows better.
Circle boy.
Hey, how do we do this show? What do we want to start with here? Is there anything we want to talk about, or we don't just get into it?
It's been so long.
I'm having a good time. I feel pretty good. I'm ready to go. What do you say?
Let's jump in.
Episode 93. I pulled number 93. I said I was going to do a lot of baby stuff about me, but I didn't think that was going to be any fun for anybody else listening. However, I will share this real quick. Look at your boy. Look at your boy. Just looks like I'm just baked out of my mind at like age 2.
I want those overalls so bad though. I would rock the hell out of those today.
Hell yeah, man. I was a young stunner, dude. My mom would put me in overalls and corduroys like no other, and I would just be swooping bitches all day.
Is that what
I believe that.
Yeah. It was good news. All right, back to this. Real stuff. Yimi Garcia, 93. First off, 31 years old. Fucking sheesh. That's older than hell. How old are you guys?
Fuck you.
33.
Dan, how old are you, bro?
I am also 33.
Woo! He's a young buck compared to y'all. Never mind. He's old as hell compared to me. I'm a little baby boy. You saw the picture. He signed as an amateur free agent at the age of 17 with the Dodgers. Pitched a little bit with the Dodgers, and I completely forgot that he did that. He debuted at age 24, so 7 years in their system. That was on September 1st, 2014, and he was pinch hit for by none other than Jock Peterson, who was also making his debut that day.
Huh.
Pretty neat.
Right.
In 2015, this is pretty impressive. He had a streak of 33 consecutive appearances without allowing a walk. So that was from June 7th through September 28th, and that's still a major league record.
Wonder how many times a pinch hitter came in to relieve a pitcher and both of them were making their debuts. Like, I feel like that's got to be like a one
right
in a very, very few and far between instance.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know, man. If there's a baseball thing, search for that. Fucking, you can do it, dude.
Baseball reference.
Yeah, just find it on StatHead. Search rookies relieving each other with things and stuff. After undergoing Tommy John surgery in 2016 and missing 2017, Yimi Can we just say his name together real quick? Like that?
Yee.
Yee. It's so fun, dude.
Why?
Yee. Oh, putting
I
a
don't know.
little Wally twist on it. I like
Yeah.
it.
I like Jimmy Garcia. That's a good one. I like it.
Jimmy Garcia. He pitched a hitless 8th inning to pass the torch on a combined no-hitter started by Walker Buehler. Do you guys remember that?
Oh, I remember the no-hitter. I didn't realize he was a part of it.
Correct. He threw the 8th inning, handed off the torch to Tony Cingrani, who closed it out against the
Cardinals.
Padres.
Great, Tony Cingrani.
Cardinals
you took
great.
the words right out of my mouth. Tone.
That game was actually played in Estadio de Baseball Monterrey. That was against
Nailed
the
it.
Padres, making it the first no-no outside of the United States and Canada.
Right.
So pretty dank. They done did it. They shut them out. I really killed the name of that stadium.
You did.
Guys.
You crushed that. I'm impressed with you.
You
I
want me
was,
to,
yeah.
do you want me to do it again?
Kind of. I thought it was like a voiceover thing or something.
See if I got it still.
Yeah, I don't want you to ruin it.
Excuse me. Estadio de Baseball Monterrey.
Yeah, it was good.
First one was better.
First one was more natural.
Well, it's whatever, guys. I don't know why you fucking told me to do it then.
I told you not to. Don't blame me.
It's
Blame
true.
Tone.
Dan, you're fucking new here. Shut up. Shut it. All right. That's all for Yimi Garcia, number 93 for episode 93. Tone, please tell me you got birthdays for me.
Oh, I forgot him this week.
Oh, you shithead.
No, I got birthdays. I always got birthdays.
Bing bong.
This week, we have Brandon Woodruff. He is 29.
He's an age. Oh, my God. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's only 2 months older than me.
Mm-hmm.
Put me next to this guy, I look like a fucking baby. That is a grown man, and I'm a child.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You were absolutely correct on every point that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
He's Brandon Wood rough, and I'm Brandon Wood smooth. You know what I mean?
I don't even know what to think about that. He is 29 this week. He was drafted, interestingly, was drafted by the Rangers in the 5th round of the 2011 draft. Did you know that?
Yeah. Ranger great, Brandon Woodruff. No, I did not know that.
So he didn't sign, which is a common thing, right? Guys like don't sign, and then they get drafted again, and then they sign the second time because normally they're going back for, they want to get better so they can get drafted higher, get more money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get all that. His situation was like a little unusual because it kind of backfired, I guess. He was drafted by Milwaukee in the 11th round after being drafted by the Rangers in the 5th round.
Oofa doofa.
So he went later in the draft, but, good for him. He still got drafted and all that. Very underrated pitcher. He had an incredible 2021, kind of got overshadowed by Corbin Burns.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Despite a deceiving 9-10 record, he started 30 games with a 2.56 ERA and a 0.965 WHIP. Those are like
just not look at win-loss records for starting pitchers anymore.
Right. The
it's almost like they don't mean shit.
Right. The win-loss compared to his individual stats are very Jacob DeGrom-esque, if you know what I'm saying.
Wow.
Wow. He surpassed 200 strikeouts for the first time in his career. Good job for him. Get this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. His career 1.070 WHIP. That's awesome. 1.070 WHIP.
Yeah.
If he qualified innings-wise, he's only got 460 career innings pitched. If he qualified with enough innings, that would actually put him in 4th place among active pitchers.
Wow.
Dang.
He would be behind only Kershaw, DeGrom, and Chris Sale. And he'd be in front of everybody else, including guys like Scherzer, Strasburg, Garrett Cole, and Justin Verlander.
Wow. Okay.
It's pretty impressive company to be keeping.
Okay.
Absolutely. He is a super underrated pitcher. And I'm kind of excited to see what the Brewers rotation can do this year. Hopefully not too much against my Cardinals, but they fun.
I bet they'll do a lot against the Cardinals for real.
We'll see.
Dude, he had a 5-7 WAR last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. Good job, Brandon. Proud of you.
Next birthday. You guys heard of this guy?
Yeah, I have. Most overrated turd of all time.
He could be, and he could still be incredible. I mean,
I feel like I'm gonna say this, and nobody's gonna like it. I feel like what if he just wasn't that good, and people were just like, "Come check out Babe Ruth," and he was like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know how. I can't say."
Let's do this. Let's talk about him a little bit, and then we're gonna get into some questions. I want to talk to you.
I just don't want to get canceled. I have something that I want to say, but I don't want to get canceled 93 episodes in, so I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
Just know that I had something great. I'll tell you guys off.
All right. Okay. Old George Herman. George Herman Ruth was better known as the Babe, or the Great Bambino, or the Sultan of Swat, or the Colossus of Clout.
The Colossus of Clout.
Thank you. Or the King of Crash. He is a Hall of Famer. He has won 7 World Series. Holy cow.
That's pretty cool.
He led league in runs 8 times, home runs 12 times, ribbies 5 times, walks 11 times, OBP 10 times, and slugging and OPS 13 times each. He is MLB's all-time leader in WAR, slugging percentage, OPS, OPS plus. He's second in on-base percentage, 4th in runs scored, 3rd in home runs, 2nd in RBIs, 3rd in walks, 2nd in runs created. I had to throw this in. This has nothing to do with anything. But at 6 years, we've talked about this before. But at 6 years old, he spent free time unsupervised between the waterfront docks, where he'd commit petty theft and vandalism.
Of course he did.
And then his father's bar, where he'd steal money from the till, finish people's beer glasses, and developed a taste for chewing tobacco at 6 years old.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's impressive.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like what Baby Ty was doing in that picture.
That's right, dude. I was just dummy lit off of used chewing tobacco and sipped beers mixed with spit, most likely. So
we've actually been talking about Babe Ruth a lot off air the last couple of days, just some social media stuff. But my question to you guys, is he the GOAT? And then kind of like following up on that, like, how is there a GOAT in general in baseball? And how do you break that down? Like, how do you define
right
the all-time greats?
It's so hard with like generations. Like we've talked about it a lot. You know, I mean, you could say Babe Ruth is the greatest all time, but he also didn't play against the best competition of all time.
Right.
So how can you say that when he was, you know, out there crushing 600 some dingers against farmers and local saloon workers? Like
Right.
But then you take like take an above average but not super elite player from today's game, JD Martinez. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are we saying that JD Martinez is better than Babe Ruth?
I think there's definitely
you know what I mean?
There's definitely a Babe Ruth line in there. Like
I think if you put JD Martinez in the game that Babe Ruth played, he makes Babe Ruth look like not Babe Ruth.
Sure.
Right.
No, I do think you have to.
He makes fast guys look not fast. Good job, Dan. Great input,
watched
bro.
that last night too.
I think you do have to consider if Babe Ruth were born in 1990 or something like that, he would have grown up with a lot of the fitness instruction and health and nutrition instruction and stuff. Assuming his natural talent is that great, he could be Mike Trout or whatever, but it's just too hard to tell. I think where I'm going with this for me is that you can't really define an all-time great in baseball because the game is just too different.
It just changes like every 20 years.
Honestly,
it's a different era.
I think hockey is the only sport where I can look and say like there's like single-handedly one GOAT, and it's Wayne Gretzky. You know what I mean? But like even in basketball, like it's argued constantly. Football, super hard to compare because the positions are so different. And baseball, it's the same game, but it's not. Like it's played differently.
Right.
Yeah. I could probably give you like a Mount Rushmore, right? Or maybe
Right,
even go
that's
to
the-
like 5.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But the one point that I want to make too is so he leads it, all time in WAR, right? Which is super impressive. But you look at the average position player when he played, and you look at the average position player now, like
Right.
the one now is light years ahead of him back then. So yeah, of course, like even if you were just pretty good or really good, like your WAR is going to be through the freaking roof compared to everybody else
Right.
back then.
Not to mention how many pitches do you think? Let's see. He was playing in the 20s, late teens.
They were throwing
through the
65, bro. 65.
Nobody
max.
was throwing
No, they were
85.
throwing 165.
60, 69 max.
But in all seriousness, they didn't have the number of pitches that they have today. Like there weren't like I mean, you had your fastball, and I'm sure by that point you had some type of
Curveball.
change up and curveball, but like I don't think you had like
You didn't have a
knuckle
Josh Hader slider
curves.
coming at you.
Yeah, you didn't have wipeout sliders, you didn't have knuckle curves, you didn't have circle change, you didn't have like running fastballs and two
Splitters and-
seamers,
right.
like you know.
Yeah, I think if I have to pick a GOAT, like I would say probably like my top two. Ruth is not in either one of them. For me, it's Willie Mays is like a 1A and
Yeah.
Barry Bonds is a 1B.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Ruth would probably be 3.
As
and
far
then
as
Griffey would be in there
all
too.
around complete players,
Yes, that's how I would look at it.
Yeah. I can't argue that. But I think again you have to almost break it down by generation. And if you want to say not Bonds, Ruth was the greatest player of his generation, I'm good with that. I mean,
Right.
I think he
Right.
was statistically. You can't really argue it. But
yeah, for sure. Our buddy Dustin, he also mentioned in the comments, he says, "Gotta remember the ball was dead as fuck." Sure, super was. I get it. They were probably also hitting with either A, a whole ass tree, or B, a broomstick. And he was drunk half the time, which
Well,
also
the dead ball
super
era
sick.
ended at 1920. It became a livelier ball after that. So in Ruth's prime, it was
Listen.
not the dead ball era.
Listen,
anymore.
you can say livelier ball all you want. You know that thing was leather wrapped around a rock, bro.
I mean, sure, it still isn't compared to today, right? Like, there's definitely
Right.
not a freaking ball of rubber in the middle of it like
All right.
there is now.
I
but-
got two things to say about Babe Ruth. One,
okay.
that fat turd only won one MVP, bro. You're telling me he's the greatest all time, and he played 22 years and wasn't even the best more than once in those?
I don't even think they had MVP all those years, though, did they?
I don't know, dude. He's got one in 1923. So, like, why are we even talking about this guy? What the fuck? That's 99 years ago. Move on. This guy sucks. I'm done. I'm done with this cat, dude. Fuck no. Barry Bonds is the GOAT, dude. Get him in on the Veterans Committee in the Hall of Fame since everybody else decides to fuck up that whole scenario.
That's a whole different. We can't get into that. We don't have time.
I know.
Yeah.
We don't have
whole
time.
episode.
All right, Babe Ruth, the questionable GOAT. We'll leave it at that.
Smell you later, babe. Hey,
Your
did you
last
guys...
birthday and your Tony Tones dope name of the day is Smokey Burgess.
Smokey Burgess. That sounds like a plate that you get at like a barbecue place.
Yes, it does. The smoky. Yeah, I'll do the Smokey Burgess. Hold the horseradish, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. He got around a little bit. Played for the Cubs, Phillies, Reds, Pirates, and White Sox. So he was a 5'8" catcher. Okay, he played in the 50s and 60s. He remained in the league for 18 seasons, even though he only averaged 94 games a year. Even as a catcher, I feel like that's not very many.
No.
It's not.
So kind of weird, but he hung around. Apparently, he just had a knack for hitting. Was not good defensively, and apparently his career could have been much different. Not necessarily longer. He played 18 years, but would have been different had the DH been implemented at that point.
Sure.
He was a 9-time All-Star though, but you have to consider that 3 of those years,
We're the
59 to
Warriors.
61, they had 2 All-Star games a season.
Oh
Right.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
so he was All-Star twice 3 years in a row. So that's 6 of them right there. So he did get a World Series ring with the 1960 Pirates. And there's not a whole lot of fun facts about Smokey, so I wanted to give some fun facts about the 1960 Pirates.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
That team had 4 dicks on it.
You got me, dude.
Dick Stewart.
I feel like that's really low compared to how many players are. Oh.
Yeah, no.
It was different times,
Right,
Dan.
right. Dick Stewart, Dick Groat.
Dick Rote.
Groat.
Oh, worse, way worse.
Sounds like
Dicks.
a VD.
Dick Schofield
Okay, I dig that.
and Dick Barone.
I also like that.
Mhm.
It's just a Dick Barone.
Dick Barone.
It's just a Dick Barone.
So then, separate from the Dick names, he had a few teammates with some great last names.
Okay.
And all I can think about is what if some of the Dicks would have had these last names. So some of the last names on his 1960 World Series team were Gross, Face, and Skinner. Imagine if those guys.
Skinner,
names-
I barely know her.
Dick
Could you imagine Dick Face?
That's I can't get over Dick Skinner, bro.
Dick Skinner.
I'm stuck on Dick Groat. That just sounds like
Dick
something you would
Gross.
get when you go to the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah.
Yo. What's wrong with Smokey
Rest in
Burgess,
peace.
dude? Why can't he play this week? He's got the dick groat.
Right. Something
That'd be
Tyler
really-
O'Neill would definitely catch.
Hey, Dick Face, you're in.
Dick face, dick groat. Dick.
Uh,
Did you say the other one was gross?
Gross was one.
Yeah.
Not, his name wasn't Dick, but yeah,
Correct, but
one
the
of
last
their
name was Gross?
Yeah.
So yeah, just imagine like a dick gross. Like, oh dang.
Yeah.
You know how? So when you put it on like the lineup card, it's
Yeah,
always
it's
last name
gross,
first.
comma,
Would be
Dick.
gross Dick.
Right.
Or like when he introduces himself, like James Bond does every time. Gross, dick, gross. I love that, dude. I wonder what his net dick is. His dick net.
Net stick.
Dick that.
Yeah, I was thinking like gross pay and net pay.
Oh, okay.
So he's got his dick gross and his dick net.
Gotcha. I would like to read a quote from the Great American Baseball Card Flipping, Trading, and Bubblegum Book.
Wow. Okay.
And I quote, Smokey Burgess was fat. Not baseball fat like Mickey Lollick or Early Wynn, but fat like the mailman or your Uncle Dwight. Putsy fat, slobby fat, just plain fat.
Bro,
In
the guy's
fact,
not that fat.
In fact, I would venture to
Dude.
say that Smokey Burgess was probably the fattest man to ever play professional baseball. He was also described at times as a walking laundry bag and barely fit enough to play for the Moose Lodge softball team. Okay.
Dude.
The dude was listed at 5'8", 185, and he doesn't look fat in any single picture that I found of him.
Timeout. I found
What
one.
is going on?
I
I found
feel
it.
like
You found
it's
a
with-
wait? You found a fat pic?
Yeah, he doesn't even look that fat. He's just oddly proportioned. He does
I
look like
probably
a.
saw. I looked through a lot of pictures.
He does look like a laundry bag.
where he's swinging. Yeah.
Okay, but like, I feel a little bit like if I put that jersey on, I would make it look significantly worse, and now I feel really shitty.
Right. I'm way bigger than that dude. And they're
Right?
just knocking him, dude.
Yeah, but he's also got dick groat, guys. Who cares?
Is that a side effect?
I think so.
Yeah.
Unreal.
This is kind of a fun story. A little happy ending here. After he got a
happy
signing
news.
bonus from the Cubs,
Mhm.
he purchased a new Mercury to ride around town, and he stopped in a Rose's Dime store and asked a few of the female employees if they wanted to go for a ride. The girls were told to get back to work by their supervisor, Margaret Head. That would be another
Dick
good
Head.
dick name, right? Yeah. So then Smokey asked her about going for a ride as well. She declined because she was working, but found out where she lived. That sounds creepy. She found out where she lived.
Creep.
I think she told him
Okay,
where
that
she
makes it
He
better.
waited
He
for
followed her home that day.
Right. He waited for her after church the next Sunday. And they ended up going on a 5-hour ride.
Hey.
And they were married 18 months later.
Of course they were. Mm.
So what you're
Yep.
saying is he bought himself a Mercury and he cruised it up and down the road?
He found himself a gold digger, bro.
Yes.
Thank you. Tone got the reference.
I can't pull it, but I know what you're talking about.
Is
Alan
this
Jackson.
Okay. that's why I couldn't pull it.
and cruise it up and down the road.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. I've heard that
Definitely
song before.
Why I didn't know that one.
I heard that song when I was like 1, bro.
Shut up, Ty. This is the adults are talking.
That's fair. Hey, real quick though, do you have anything else on Smokey Burgess? Are you done?
No,
with
that's
Smokey?
it, man.
Look at his picture, and look in the background. Somebody standing right behind where his little butt is.
It's probably Dick Gross.
It looks like he's just got little baby
No,
butt
that's
legs.
that's Dick Schofield for sure.
He's just got little baby butt legs. I like that.
Alex.
I'm gonna get that tattooed on my body.
Baby butt legs.
Just
The
Smokey.
whole thing,
Just-
the whole card.
No, just Smokey Burgess. I'll do a .png of Smokey Burgess and tat it on my skin, bro.
I like it.
I love when I get you guys speechless and then I just sit here and wait for just wait to see what you guys can say. And I love when you just have nothing. You're like,
Like,
yeah, I mean, fucking
okay.
get after it, bro. I don't fucking know. Just do your shit. Whatever, man. Fuck. It's my favorite. All right. Hey, fucking money. You know what I mean? Just do that. If you are listening right now and you're not signed up to be a monthly contributor, hey, you're a fucking mooch. You know what I mean? There's 2 of you. I see at least 2 of you watching.
There was 3 until you start talking about money.
Fucking mooches. Gosh, dang it, dude. Hey, mooches. Head over to anchor.fm/upperdeckerpod/support. Become a monthly contributor. You can do $1, $5, or $10 a month. All of that goes right back into the show. You know the spiel. If you can't do the monthly thing, I totally get it. Head over to paypal.me/upperdeckerpod. You can do a one-time donation. Anything over $20 gets you a message on the show, whether it be just something stupid that you want us to say, something stupid you want me to wear, even more dumb than my Life Rips hoodie and my Captain Knievel fucking underwear that I got on right now. Or if you have like a company or something that you sell or whatever and you want an advertisement, $20. That'll get that on the show for you. You be an official sponsor of the show. You know what I mean? Like, feel good about something.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do anything, feel good about like supporting us, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason you guys are even here, listeners. Support us, right? Cool.
I like it.
All right.
This.
I don't know, man. You look fucking handsome, though. So handsome.
It's kind of like a little emo thing.
Looks really
It's
good.
not a
bro.
phase, Mom.
It was not a phase.
All right. Second half of the episode here. Oh, we're starting our annual divisional previews for 2022. We've got the AL West is where we're starting this year, baby boys and baby girls out there. So, Tone, you know what? I'm talking too much. Give them a recap of what we do.
We are going to take a look real quick at how the AL West finished last year, but mostly we're going to talk about what we think is going to happen this season.
Mm-hmm.
We each went through and we predicted how the division is going to play out standings wise, wins and losses, and obviously the rankings that come with that. We also put together our best 5-man rotation using only pitchers from the AL West. So that was kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, we took a few stat categories like home runs, stolen bases, ERA, saves, that kind of stuff. And we predicted who just from the AL West would lead in each of those stat categories. And we didn't do a great job last year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I don't think
we
so.
did better in some. There was a lot of injuries that played a role in our predictions last year. We had DeGrom going down hurt us a lot.
Bieber
going down hurt us a lot. Trout going down hurt us a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple.
You know what didn't hurt us a lot?
Brian Hayes going down hurt us a lot for our rookie stuff. And
Yeah, we know Dan Shohei Ohtani.
Look, I hit
that's
on
you.
one thing. I
That's
have
you
to
right
ride that one thing until I die now. So I'm sorry.
What are you doing after the
I'm not.
show, baby boy?
Riding that
Hey,
thing,
let's
man.
talk about the 2021 AL West recap. So, Tone, this is where the standings ended at the end of the season, right?
correct. Yeah, this is how they finished.
Man, look at those Rangers down there. Just sneaking up on them. 60 and 102. One of these days, man, they'll get there, I
They're
swear.
gunning for him. We'll see.
I mean, you look at that acquisition side, and they probably did the best out of all of these teams.
So
Therefore,
far.
Oh, it's not even probably, yeah.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that happens. Obviously, the Astros won the division at 95 and 67, and they took it all the way almost, and then got beat by the Braves. So that was super fun. Fuck the Astros, but yeah.
Right. They lost Correa. Well, keep in mind too, we're sitting here on February 7th. We're in the middle of a lockout still. There's a lot of free agents out there. We don't know where they're going to sign. It didn't seem like there's a lot of stuff in motion for Correa to go back to the Astros. I haven't heard much about it, but I kind of feel like he's going to go elsewhere, but they could lose him.
Mm-hmm.
Kendall Graveman is a free agent. Marvin Gonzalez and Zach Greinke.
Graveman went to the White
agents.
Sox.
Did he go to the White Sox?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Marwin and Greinke are still free agents.
Thanks
but
for double
Graveman
checking
went
my
to the White
notes
Sox.
like I asked, guys.
Dang it, Dan.
Unreal.
What the
Unreal.
shit?
You guys
I
had
did.
one job.
No, you said departure. He departed. He didn't re-sign with the Astros.
Oh,
He's
that's
still a
true.
departure.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
Okay. Never mind. We're
Fucking
good.
you die.
Hey, I was on Tone's side. Tone was doing it first.
I was.
Dang.
They did acquire Hector Neris, bullpen piece. But at this point, they've lost more than they've gained. So we'll see there.
I mean, speaking of that, look at the A's, bro. Yikes.
The A's have lost a lot. And for
It's
me,
gonna get worse.
those aren't. I didn't list every player that these teams have lost. I listed the notable players that you would recognize the name of.
Right.
That's a lot. I mean, some of those guys didn't contribute last year. But you look at like a Starling Marte.
Mark
Mark Hanna was huge last year. Yep.
Mitchie
And
Two Bags.
Jan Gomes has been a really solid catcher.
Deacon,
there's
Jed Lowry.
Yep. There's
But it's
some big
okay,
names
guys.
there.
They got Brent Honeywell.
Yeah,
so
right.
They're gonna do good. And then you got the Angels making that splash sign in Syndergaard, kind of going a little bit off the rails there with Syndergaard, right? It was a 1 year, $21 million deal.
I almost want to say 25. Oops.
I know it was more. Yeah, it was more obviously than the qualifying offer, but I don't think it was like a ton. I thought it was like 22.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Something like that. But they went out there, they did that. They signed old Aaron Loop from the Mets, and then Michael Lorenzen, who I believe they said is going to compete for the rotation this year. So that'll be cool to see.
It was 21, Tone.
God, I'm literally so fucking smart, guys.
I don't know about that. I don't think Dylan Bundy is going to be a big loss. Dexter Fowler is definitely not going to be a big loss. Steve Cishek. So I don't. They've got 5 guys they're losing, but I don't think any one of those is going to hurt them too bad.
Right. They trimmed a little fat, and they're adding like a little potential muscle. They're toning up just a little bit.
Yeah,
The
they need
biggest
another.
addition they're going to get is Mike Trout back. Like that's going to be the biggest piece.
Right. That's
Yeah.
huge.
We've also seen that Mike Trout can't carry that whole fucking team.
Right.
But you hope a healthy Trout, healthy Rendon, and healthy Ohtani,
Right.
knock
Can
on
balance
wood.
it out.
So,
Right.
We'll see there. The Rangers, like you guys said, I mean, they made more than a splash. I mean, Corey Seager and Marcus Semien alone is
They
absolutely
invested
insane.
$500 million in a day. So
Right.
which
God.
is awesome.
It feels good being a fan of a team who likes to pay, players. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's real sick. How do you guys feel about it?
I mean, we pay players.
You just pay the wrong ones usually.
Yeah.
Nah, we're paying Nolan Arenado, and
You're not paying Nolan Arenado.
we are now.
Not last year,
we will be at some point this season.
Yeah, but we were also paying for Dexter Fowler and Matt Carpenter. So, like I said, we don't always pay for it
Yeah.
smartly.
And Brett Cecil.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, he was part of it.
Carpenter's off now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fowler, I think,
Fowler's
is off
off.
now.
Yep.
Cecil's off.
Mike Leake is finally off too. That
Jesus.
contract Fowler
Big
for
yikes,
a long
bro.
time.
Wild.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I think, like we said, the Rangers obviously are primed to make a little bit of a leap here, probably from last place. What do you guys think? You want to find out? You want to talk about that?
Let's take a look at it.
Cool.
Yeah. What?
Damn it, Tone.
All right. You want me to go ahead and explain my standings first, since you're
Yeah.
All
Go
right.
ahead, bro.
Here's my deal. I'm going to back up one slide here.
Damn,
real
10
quick.
games under. Holy shit.
Okay, I have them improving by 17 wins. So
Yeah.
don't get me wrong.
Right.
They are going to be much better.
Sure.
I don't know. I think the division is going to look a lot like the NL East
Correct.
of last year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's going to be real smushed together.
Mhm.
So when I have them finishing last, it's not an insult. I just don't know if they have the power quite yet, especially from their starting rotation. It's going to be amazing rotation in the next few years, and it's already starting to get better with the addition of John Gray. I think it's going to take another year or two, though, so I don't give them the power to jump up into like the middle of the pack yet.
Okay.
And then as far as the rest of my standings, Houston, despite the losses they're taking, they're still a great team.
Mm-hmm.
I got them a couple wins less, but I still think they'll win the division. Angels, I didn't want to put too high, but I do think they're going to improve this year. But then again, we say that every year. Who knows?
Yep.
Oakland had a lot of losses, like we talked about. They're going to take a drop. Seattle was a surprising team last year. I really, really, really liked what they did. I was impressed by it. However, I'm real big on run differential.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Seattle had a negative 51 run differential last season.
Oh, dang.
I have that in my notes as well, actually.
Okay. So I wanted to put them higher. I wanted to put them above the Angels and even talk about them possibly win the division. I just can't yet. I know they got Robbie Ray, but like you got to at least get to the point where you're scoring more runs than you're allowing before. I mean, I know they won 90 games last year with that, but that was a fluke. They got to score more runs. So that's where I got them dead even, 500.
I mean, it makes sense. I also had the Mariners taking a little bit of a step back. I think it was kind of fluky. Not to mention they're going to try and like squeeze in their younger guys this year, most likely. So like Julio Rodriguez, I believe is the name.
Mhm.
Yes. He'll be coming up, and you just never know. Like, obviously, he's supposed to be great, but you don't know. You had Kyle Lewis, who fell back after his Rookie of the Year, so they're going to be gambling out there quite a bit.
We also didn't mention that Kyle Seager retired, and he had a monster season last year.
Right.
He had 35 home runs. I think that was a career high for him. He had 35 home runs and a career high 101 RBIs. Did he really? He batted 212 last year?
What was his on base last year?
285.
Wow. That's
So
a lot
he just
lower
went
than I
out
was
there,
expecting.
just tried to crush ding dongs.
His
all
OPS
year.
was
Yeah.
only 723 despite 35 home runs and 100 RBIs.
Wow. Yeah, he was only
He struck out
crushing dingers.
161 times.
Oh, yeah.
and
he was swinging for the
walked.
fences.
He only walked 59 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we won't say he had an amazing season. We'll say he had a very powerful season, but
Correct.
Yeah.
it's still run production. It's still, it still came out to a war of two. So it's a couple wins you're losing right there.
Right. I look at them and their infield is really deep. It reminds me of like a Dodgers type scenario where they've got all these guys that can play all these different positions on the infield. So they got JP at short. You got Ty France who can play first and third, a little bit of second. Same thing with Adam Frazier, who they just acquired. Dylan Moore plays every position out there. Same thing with Abraham Toro. So like they're going to mix and match all over the field, I think. I think they're going to be, I say better, but I think they're going to be more consistent this year than they were last year, just because, a loss of like Kyle Seager batting 212 might be 35 home runs, still batting 212 though. You get a chance for these younger guys like Dylan Moore to get up there and smash every day. I think it's going to make a pretty solid, like consistent improvement. I think within like 2 or 3 years, they'll be competing for that top spot, but it's not this year. So
I want to talk about the Mariners too.
talk about it on your turn, bro.
Fine.
I'm just kidding. Talk about them. I love you. Talk about them.
So I agree with everything that you guys just said, right? Like I think that they had a big step back, obviously from Kyle Lewis last year. Julio is on the doorstep. Jared Kelenic didn't exactly have the debut that they were expecting, but in September, if I remember correctly, he did turn it up to what he should have turned it up to. So I think they're going to be fine on the outfield side.
Dude, their outfield's fucking stacked. I will say that.
Yes, agreed. I think the reason that I have them getting a couple more wins is that they are going to be in the Chris Bryant sweepstakes, and that I think they end up taking him because with the Giants saying, and I know this is counter to what I said because I predicted him re-signing with the Giants, but the Giants have come out and said, and this could just be posturing, that they're not looking to take on any more 9-figure deals, and I don't see Bryant signing for less than 9 figures. So I think the Mariners, with that young core, have money to spend. And I mean, they have a great farm system too. So even if they don't, they can go wheel and deal and go get somebody. But I think they replace Seager with an upgrade. They specifically somebody who's been there, done that. Bryant obviously fits that bill, winning a World Series with the Cubs. So he provides that locker room, that winning mentality basically that I think was missing from them last year down the stretch.
Right. That's true.
Kind of fits into their flexible roster too, being able to play infield or outfield.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
No.
I was just saying, and then the Japanese guy, if he does end up staying posted, that Saya Suzuki, I know Boston is a front runner for him right now, but you can't overlook the fact that Seattle has a huge Japanese culture basically there, like a community.
100%.
I mean, hell, at their stadium, they sell like fried crickets or whatever. It's like a Japanese cuisine. So
Hard pass there.
Don't
but-
agreed. But so you can't really overlook that piece of it either. So I think they're going to get another bat, and that's going to help them. But I don't think they're there to beat Houston yet.
I'm looking through their rotation, guys, and it's not terrible.
They need one more.
Yes, that Robbie Ray acquisition is insane. That's so good. And then you've got, Chris Flexen, who had a great season. You got Marco Gonzalez, who's super just consistent. May not be the best, but he's out there every game, an innings eater, whatever, gets it done. And then you got guys like Logan Gilbert, Justin Dunn.
Still have Justice Sheffield too.
Justice Sheffield. Yeah, I'm kind of just digging through. They've got a lot of names that can kind of hold through that rotation. The first three I'm very happy with, and after that it's kind of meh.
The last two you just need. I mean, they're young. You just need to see a step up this year, which is what they should do in theory. Barring injury or regression somehow. But
okay, so my rankings this year, I'm going to go through last to first. I've got the Athletics dropping to last, 78 and 84,
which is interesting because you still have them with more wins than my last.
I have all 5 of my teams within 12 games. I think it's going to be very NL Easty because they're all of these teams have their high side, but they all very obviously have a low side as well.
Right.
So if one of these teams' low sides outweighs the other, it could cost them the fucking division. Or if one
they're beating up on each other all season.
Exactly. Or if one outperforms expectations, a Rangers or a Mariners or whatever, I mean, they could take the division if they really wanted to. We saw how close the Mariners were last year. So I got the Athletics dropping to 78 and 84. Biggest thing there, obviously, is all of the departures. The biggest departure I don't even think we talked about is Mr. Bob Melvin is no longer in
Oakland. Good call.
So they've got Mark Kotze, a first-year manager.
It's a great call.
Bob Melvin, a 3-time manager of the year, I believe, and you're losing him over to the Padres. That's going to be a hard team to corral and get back together, especially with all these departures. Everybody's going to be new. There's going to be new manager, new position players, new pitchers. Everybody's fucking new now. So it's going to take a minute to get that chemistry together. They're going to fall back pretty hard, I think. Yeah. The Rangers, obviously, with the big signings, I think they improved to 84. A lot of the younger guys last year got a taste, so I think that they're going to be able to come up and perform a little bit better. You had Adolis Garcia, who kind of came out of nowhere. He's going to hopefully repeat a little bit of what he did last year. I don't expect all of the same, but, close. I've still got the Mariners in third place winning 85, only one more game than the Rangers. I did it again, boys. I did it again. I changed it right before the show started. I've got Houston finishing second with 88 wins, and I've got the Angels not at 95. I bumped them down to 90 this year. I got the Angels at 90 and 72 winning the division.
We'll see.
I know. Okay. I wanted to shake it up, and that's how I did it. Not the smartest one. However, I think you've got Noah Syndergaard. If he does literally anything, that's great. That's an improvement right off the bat. Patrick Sandoval did not have a terrible season last year. You've got a guy like Shohei Ohtani who pitches every 5th day. Lorenzen, who we know has just got fucking junk. He's, reliable as shit on the mound in the later innings. We just have to see what happens here and the rotation. And then, you got Griffin Canning, Jaime Barria. That 5th spot you can do whatever with. But if they come out and they perform, I think that they can acquire a starting pitcher at the deadline and make things, a little bit closer out there in that division. I haven't looked up, trade candidates at this point, but
pretty much the entire Reds starting rotation. So Luis Castillo, Sonny Gray.
Right, exactly. So you could get a Luis Castillo, a Sonny Gray type, send them both out there. Fuck it. Send them both. Send the whole farm team packing, dude. Fuck it.
It's about what it's going to take to get Luis Castillo with the Angels farm system.
Give me the 90. Just give me 90 wins. That's all I want. Cool. So I've got, all 5 of my teams finishing within 12 games of each other. Jinkies, Batman.
I have my top 4 teams finishing pretty close, within 13. I have Oakland falling way off, and I actually feel a lot better about it now because I completely forgot about Bob Melvin leaving. But basically, I don't expect Olsen, Chapman, Minea, Bassett, or Montas to be on the roster by the end of the year.
dude.
So I think they're going to have a massive fire sale,
Hmm.
some of which will happen before the season. I think the guys that miss out on Freddie Freeman and Anthony Rizzo will come knocking for Olsen. And honestly, I mean, Seattle may even come knocking at Chapman if they don't get Chris Bryant. So, as long as there's no hesitance to trade in the division there, which for Oakland, there really shouldn't be hesitance to trade with anybody.
They're very known to trade within the division anyways.
There you go. So, yeah, I don't see. Oh, yeah, they traded with the Rangers last year.
They do it all the time. Yeah.
So I have them taking massive step backs, also because their farm system is one of, if not the weakest in the majors right now. So they can reload it pretty quickly with just those 5 names. And then they still have Ramon Laureano on, under club control for the next 3 years. So they could potentially be in contention again in 3 years. So before he's up, if they maximize those other 5 guys. So they're just going to tank real bad.
Right.
The Rangers and the Angels were the hardest 2 for me to pick because I kept flip-flopping on which one I wanted to be above the other one.
Right.
And the sexiness of all of the free agent signings that the Rangers had, I really, really wanted to put them above. But it just never works out that way. When a team goes out and spends that much money, it usually doesn't pan out in one season. Look at San Diego.
Yeah, usually that first year is kind of like, is this really going to work, or did we just fuck up big time?
Exactly. So I think, and they were, Tone talked about run differential earlier. I think they were like a -200 or something, just stupid.
It wasn't great.
So I like them a lot. I think that they've got a ton of potential. And even though I do firmly believe Kershaw is going to Texas, that rotation really just doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. They've got depth, but they've basically got Dane Dunning. They would have Kershaw, Dunning, Gray, and then like a bunch of guys that they could just throw at the 4 and 5 spot.
Man,
I'm not in love with that.
I adore the Rangers rotation, and it's only going to get better from here. I know that's obviously super biased, but like
I like their prospects better than who they have on the roster right now.
Sure.
Outside of Gray and Dunning.
Yeah, John Gray, Dane Dunning, Colby Allard, I'm kind of over you, my guy. Spencer Howard, I'm really excited about. Glenn Otto and AJ Alexi. Those are 2 names to keep an eye on, I swear to you. I was talking to Tone about them all year last year with our fantasy teams. I was like,
I didn't hear any of that. You've never talked about those guys.
Whatever, I'm done with you. I was going to Google something else, but I'm sick of it now.
And then even still, like the bullpen's fine. Like I don't love it. I don't hate it, but it's what you would expect a team like theirs to look like right now, so that they can go out and make trades and get who they need to make up next year. And then, when in doubt, I erred on the side of Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. So I gave the edge to the Angels. I don't like their starting rotation at all, even with Syndergaard. His first year back from surgery, I don't think he's going to have a good year. I don't think Michael Lorenzen is going to survive as a starter the entire year. Shohei can only do so much as a starting pitcher, so I still hate their starting rotation, even though they just drafted literally nothing but pitchers. So obviously they know what they need to fix, but they didn't do a very good job of it.
But I would look at them how you looked at, I think the Mariners, and you said they were probably going to go out and grab someone. I think you were talking about them grabbing Chris Bryant, but I look at the Angels and I think they're almost a shoo-in for nabbing at least one more starting pitcher.
I would agree. What's up, Ty?
I have something insane to say.
Okay.
Angels. The weakest spot on their roster right now, theoretically, if everybody's healthy, is shortstop. Snag that last one, Carlos Correa. Throw him at shortstop, bank it up again, spend another fucking however much money.
Just go for it.
You
gotta have the pitching though.
You get that at the deadline. You're not going to get another good shortstop for a long time after all these guys that just signed this year. You've got one last chance. Do it. Oh,
There's
my
a couple good starters out there.
Yeah, I was looking up names just now.
I know you
but-
say do it at the deadline, but that's 2/3 of the way through the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what other
mean, they
starters
can-
are out there? Let's see. I'll do
They
that.
can make a reunion.
I was
with
just
Zach
looking at
Greinke.
them. There's not many. I mean, you got Clayton Kershaw, Zach Greinke,
Like,
both great but
Greinke-
older.
Greinke has been an Angel before, so
Right.
it's not unfamiliar territory for him.
Danny Duffy had a short but great season last year. He had a 2.51 ERA in 12 starts.
Daniel Duffy. I mean, Garrett Richards has been out there before. I know that he's not great, but he hasn't had terrible years.
Matthew Boyd,
Carlos Rodon.
Carlos Rodon. That's a great option. Yeah, that'd be huge.
That would be their typical overpay option there, though, because
He's gonna. Yeah.
Last year was a fluke for him, and he started to show it and break down at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I would have serious concerns with his health.
If they could play it smart, they really could do this
Probably
right
a
now.
fluke.
If they could play it smart, go out there, sign Carlos Correa, just lock it up, lock that fucking infield up. That shit would be insane.
They're just
And
in
then-
such a bad position, right? Like they don't have. I mean, they can spend to the cap. They're the threshold because they are an LA team. They're a big market team, but
Mhm.
like they've got a bunch of big contracts. And well, I guess they did just get rid of Pujols though, so that
Right.
falls off. That opens the money.
I mean,
but
I'm just kind of digging through their shit right now.
Farm
So-
system too, so even trades are not a good option.
Right. So you got like Shohei Ohtani. I mean, fuck. At this point, just ship off Joe Adele. Get what you can. He ain't doing shit.
It's LA. Just spend the money. Just buy.
Right.
Right.
Why not? I mean,
There's not much
Shohei,
out there to
Syndergaard.
pay for.
This is LA. That's what Sheryl
Yeah,
Crow
but-
said.
They don't have the big names. They fucked up by missing out on Scherzer. That was who
Yeah.
they needed to spend the money for.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So I've got them at 81 and 81 exactly.
We're
500. I
also-
don't really anticipate them being any better than that.
Yeah, there's also a whole lot going on this year that we're not sure of as of right now.
Exactly.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Trevor Bauer decided not to opt out, but that doesn't mean that the fucking Dodgers aren't sick of him and won't just trade him across the.
And
you know.
most people are still saying he's done with the Dodgers. There's
Yeah.
no way he's going to pitch again for them.
Yeah, I don't think so
Right.
either. So they might ship him off to fucking the Angels for a bag of dirt.
Right. Just take the contract.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'll have to eat the
Right.
contract, I'm sure.
Possible.
Wherever they
So-
wherever he goes.
That would be crazy. All right, what do we got next?
I got the Mariners coming in at 92 and 70. Again, I really, really wanted to pick them to win the division, but like we've already said a million times, they're just not quite there yet.
Mhm.
And Houston, I know they're potentially losing out on Correa. I think there's still an avenue for him to re-sign, but I think even if they do miss out on him and he goes elsewhere, like Trevor Story's still out there, he would be a good stopgap for a couple years for
Oh
them.
my god, I forgot Story's still available. Yeah.
Yep. Kyle Tucker finally had his coming out party last year,
Oh.
so he finally started playing real well. Michael Brantley was just doing Michael Brantley things and getting on base.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And I would not be surprised if they addressed one more on the starting pitching side, but they're pretty well set with McCullers and Framber and Luis Garcia and Odorizzi
Yeah.
as their 1 through 4, and then they can do either Forrest Whitley at number 5, or they can put Christian Javier back as a starter at number 5.
Right.
So I think they're set there, but I mean, they could always grab one more and maybe a bullpen or something. But I think they're still the team to beat the division.
Yeah. Also, I take away my Carlos Correa thing. Scratch that. Sign Trevor Story to like a 2-year, $40 million.
For the Angels,
Yeah. Let him just
Yeah.
bet on himself for 2 years. Don't give him 1 year. Give him a 2 year. Give him a
Yeah.
little bit of comfortability, and give him $40 million total. Don't call it a day.
you know what? These standings they're gonna blow up. And I'm looking through like some of the different positions and like how many free agents are still out there.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
It's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
it's gonna
there's,
get wild.
there's some big names out there. still.
Also, I guess we should probably mention if there is a delay in the season and shortened or whatever, I think we just prorate these
Program.
things.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody on the same page here? We
Yeah,
good?
yeah. But
Mhm.
I think we should still be able to change them. Like, if the Angels make a big signing, like I'm
Sure.
gonna probably bump them up a couple wins or something like
Okay.
that. So yeah,
Yeah. So say,
until the start of the season.
yeah, right before the season starts, whenever that may be, we'll take a last gander. If there's any last minute changes we want to make to any of these predictions, we'll probably just have an episode about that because we know a lot's going to change these next couple
Right,
weeks.
right.
So,
Right.
Cool. All right, let's do that. Next page. What are we doing?
We're going to talk about rotations.
Okay.
Ooh. So, we had to pick from all the ALS pitchers and put together the best 5-man rotation possible.
I regret mine already now that I look at it.
I regret yours too. I was kidding.
Yeah, I'm just really thinking about it. I don't want Verlander on there.
What?
And I've got him as my number one.
You don't want him on there at all?
Out of all of the names, that's the one that you regret the most?
Yeah, dog. He ain't going to do shit. He's so old.
Okay. Tone, we have the same 5, don't we? Just in different orders.
Correct. Yeah, and I didn't go back and change it. I don't know that mine's in order right now. I was talking about it earlier. I don't think Verlander's going to be like. I don't think he'll be the best pitcher in the AL West this season. I think he'll be good. I want him in my rotation.
Yeah.
I don't think Robbie Ray's going to repeat his Cy Young performance. I think he'll still be really good.
I want Chris Flexen in my rotation.
See, I think if there was one player I could put in that I didn't, it would be Lance McCullers. None of us put in McCullers.
I really want McCullers.
I know.
It's the injury thing that got me. He makes me nervous. And that's why I was like, wait a second, I can't say I didn't have McCullers in there because injury, and then fucking have Justin Verlander as my fucking ace. What an idiot.
When did he get injured, though?
In the playoff. Or in the
season,
he didn't even pitch in the World Series.
Oh, yeah, because he got injured. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about like he was a guy that has like a history of injury or something like that.
No, like just recently. Like he missed his
because I was
last...
looking, I'm like, he's pitched a full season every year.
Yeah,
I understand. Yeah, man. 3.16 ERA last year, 185 strikeouts. He did lead the league, all of baseball, in walks. So he needs to get that walk rate down a little bit. But despite that, he finished 7th in Cy Young voting.
Right. So, Dan, give us your rundown of your rotation, brother.
Yeah, so, I mean, just the 1 through 5, I've got Shohei, Verlander, Robbie Ray, Luis Garcia, and Frankie Montas. I looked at Shohei. I did put this in order of 1 through 5, and I looked at Shohei as if he was just going to pitch. That's why I put him as number 1. Obviously, he's not going to just pitch. He's too good of a hitter. But that's why I've got him there. I do expect Verlander to maybe not go back to vintage Verlander stuff, but the pitching in the AL West isn't quite as deep as I thought it was on first glance. So I still think he's going to be in the best 5. I am still very high on Robbie Ray. We were talking about this before the show. I think he 100% is going to repeat as an AL Cy Young candidate on this one. I think he's going to feast in the West with as well as he did in the AL East last year.
I think he can repeat these.
These what?
Nuts. As long as he comes out wearing those painted on pants again, I think he's got a good shot to do whatever he wants.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I did love that.
Luis Garcia was just fucking nasty.
Yeah.
Absolute nastiness. I want to like this kid, and I do. I would like him a lot more if he wasn't an Astro.
I agree. I would like him so much more if he wasn't an Astro, but I'm forever grateful to the man for serving up that fucking meatball to Jorge Soler, bro. Oh my god.
That 796-foot freaking bomb that he hit.
Dang, bro, games. Oh.
I think that ball's still in orbit. The Astrodome hasn't seen a home run that loud since Pujols off of Brad Lidge.
Yeah, that was way better than Pujols.
He was not good in the playoffs at all.
No. But take that aside, he was fantastic.
He still scared the shit out of me in the playoffs. Like when he was on, but then he would just get lit up real quick and get pulled.
Yeah.
So I think that game, that home run came in the 3rd or 4th inning, and he shut down everybody else up until then, and then kind of just even the at bat with fucking Jorge Soler. It was like the 9th pitch. Jorge Soler just had a really good at bat and ended up taking him deep. So
you're exactly right. His strikeout rate was insane in the playoffs. 11.2 strikeouts per 9.
Yeah.
I mean, he had in the ALCS, he started 2 games, 9 strikeouts. The World Series started 2 games, 9 strikeouts. Just a few runs, you know.
Right.
Yeah, he's going to be a good one to watch. And then Frankie Montas he's always fun out in Oakland. I feel bad for him that he's going to be on there for however long he's going to be on there. So hopefully he changes teams quickly. And then the honorable mentions: Chris Bassett, another one in Oakland. Lance McCullers, we already talked about. John Gray, I do like him. I'm curious to see how he does outside of Colorado on a full-time basis. So I'm excited for that. Framber, I do really like as well. And you brought him up before the show, Chris Flexen. Can't believe we completely forgot about him in Seattle.
I love that, man. All right, so all three of our rotations are the same with the first three. I've got Justin Verlander, Shohei Ohtani, Robbie Ray. I've already expressed my concerns about Verlander. Shohei, he's Shohei. He's going to go out there. He's going to get shit done one way or another as long as he's healthy. Robbie Ray, I do think he takes a little bit of a step back. I don't think it's going to be a lot. My final two slots that I chose, I'm not ready to give up on Sean Manaea. I love Sean Manaea. I also don't think he will be on the Athletics by the end of the season. That could be your number 3 or number 4 pitcher for the Los Angeles Angels. So I would like to see that. I think he's just been consistent for so long. He's got to have like a breakthrough moment, and what better time than, your fucking free agent season. So go out there, get it done. Sean Manaea. John Gray, my dude, always been my dude, will always be my dude, especially now that he's on the Texas Rangers. I'm not giving up on him yet either. I've had him on my NL West rotation, probably the last, every time we've done it. So I'm going to keep him there in hopes that he can move up this rotation a little bit next year. That's it. That's all I got. I did put Frankie Montas, Chris Bassett, McCullers, Flexen, and Garcia all on my honorable mentions. So we're all going to be talking about the same 10 fucking dudes here. But, it was just who I liked more. I don't give a shit about stats. Go out there and prove it. I want to see it. Let it hang, bros.
Screw stats. They don't mean anything.
Yeah, I sound like a boomer, but it's fine. It's whatever. These guys are going to do it. I got the most solid 4 and 5 out of everybody. It's no big deal. I have faith. I have faith in my boys. You guys don't have faith in nothing but numbers.
That's true.
Faith in nothing but
all
numbers.
right, my rotation, it's the same as Dan, so I'm not going to dig into it too much. JV, it's tough to tell. He's going to be like 40 years old or something, 39. I don't know. How old is he?
I think he is.
40. He's 38 going on 39. So he'll be 39. I mean, the dude, we haven't seen him really since 2019, but he won a Cy Young with 2.58 ERA. So until he does something to prove to me that he's not legit anymore, I'm gonna give him credit. So
Jesus Christ, Justin Verlander has a 72 career WAR. Wowzers.
Yeah. Robbie Ray, like I said, I don't think he's gonna repeat what he did last year, but that doesn't mean he's not a great pitcher. He's gonna strike out probably a career high this year, but I don't know about ERA. We'll see. Shohei, nasty splitter. I love it. And then coming in 4th and 5th, Montas and Garcia. Just love both those guys a lot. Framber Valdez, I wanted to put in there. Chris Bassett, we've talked about. I wanted to put him in there. Manaea, McCullers, Gray, Chris Flexen. All those guys just missed the rotation, but all solid picks that could have been. Right. Any mix of those guys could have been in the 4 and 5 spot. So
yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if next year when we do this, it's like Shohei leading the pack, Robbie Ray, Chris Flexen, McCullers, and Frankie Montas.
I could see Ohtani, Montas, Luis Garcia, Flexen, and Valdez or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Framber's got all the potential in the world too. He's a good kid to keep an eye on as well. I mean, we not keep an eye on. Obviously, we know how good he is, but he puts a full season of it together, and he's gonna open some eyes.
Yeah. All right, boys. You want to talk about some stats?
Yes.
Stats. Well, maybe we'll talk about stats.
Roll. There they are.
Roll. You got it?
Yeah, I see them.
My computer froze up.
Freezy Weezy.
All right. So it's all right there for us. But let's take a look first at home runs. We all have a different leader in home runs. Dan.
Yes, sir. I got the man, the myth, the legend, Hitch Maniger leading the pack with 45 ding-dongs this year. I think he's going to get a lot of playing time between the outfield and DH up in Seattle. He's
Uh-huh.
kind of the old head in the outfield now, but he still can crush the fucking ball. What did he have? 30? I forget what he had last year. but
39.
He had mid. I
30.
was gonna say mid or upper 30s. So yeah,
There
he
you
was
go. Yeah, so
sneaky
40
good last year.
45 is right there for him.
Which is okay. So I know. Let's not be. I'm gonna try and not be boomery at all. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out. So in 2018, it was his only All-Star season with the Mariners. So he played 157 games that year. He played 157 games in 2021. That was a jump in 13 home runs that season and a drop in 30-something points in batting average, 60 points in OPS, 50 points in on base. I'm not saying I wouldn't take Mitch Haniger. I'm just saying, what are we doing here, bro? Are you just going to give up on hitting and just hit ding-dongs?
Well,
Yeah,
if he moves to DH,
well-
then that's pretty much going to be his job.
Yeah.
I fought really hard. I'm not trying to skip your time, but just while we're talking about it, I fought really hard on this category. Like, it was probably the hardest one for me.
I agree.
I changed it at least 3 times. I looked at both these guys, Haniger and Olsen, as well as a few other names. I had Marcus Semien was my pick until I changed it to Trout.
Gotcha.
You
also can't even count out Shohei. So
No, absolutely.
Right.
I mean, Shohei led last year, led the AL West. That is. But the one thing I didn't love about Haniger is his slugging percentage. It was not significantly, but it was lower than all the other guys we just named. I think he had a 486. Semien slugged 538. Ohtani 592.
Olsen's got a 540.
540. Trout was like
Yeah, just-
640 in his
Just
limited time.
Singles and home runs, bro. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Hey, when you're good at something, don't fucking fix it. You know, just
But either way,
keep
I
at
like
it.
the pick though. I think it's a sneaky good pick, and
Yeah.
Yeah, Trout was an easy pick. Shohei was an easy pick. I don't think that either one of them are going to lead, and I don't expect Olsen to finish the league or finish the season with Oakland. So
That's super fair.
I did forget about Semien, though. I will be completely honest. I forgot and didn't even take him into consideration. But
he had
I probably still
45
picked
last
Haniger.
year.
Okay.
Yeah, and he could probably put up fucking 50 down at that stadium for real. Oh no.
Right.
Oh,
I'm wondering the
yikes.
warmer weather and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
He's
I
gonna
put
have warm weather all year.
right. I put old Matty Olson in there. I've only got him hitting 42, which is less than both of you guys have predicted. He had 39 last year. He's hit as high as 36 before that. Dan, I do agree. I don't know if he ends up with Oakland at the end of the season, but we will see. I would just like to see him do it. I think I picked him last year to do it as well and fell just short behind Ohtani, but I think he could do some damage out there, man. Him and Haniger had the exact same amount of home runs last year. So we'll see. With his slugging and OPS is a lot higher, I think the more opportunities that he gets, the better it's going to be. So get on out there, Matty O. Crush some ding-dongs.
Yep. I kind of already explained my thought process, but just to add on one thing, I'm expecting a big comeback year for Mike Trout.
I am too.
Which is scary because he was already having another MVP season last year when he got hurt.
He was. So I
think he's going to go out there and play with a chip on his shoulder.
I really think this is going to be the year that we go, oh, yeah. No. He's still the greatest player of in the game today. Like
we do every other season with him.
We do, man.
Right.
Like, Shohei's cool, and this guy's cool, and this guy's up and coming, and this guy's exciting, but, like, it's still the Mike Trout show. So.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
All right. What you got next for us, Tone?
Stolen bases. This one was tough.
This is tough. It's so hard to pick stolen bases because it's like it's not a part of the game anymore, for real.
It's not as much, and it's so one of the things I noticed, well, actually, Ty, why don't you go first, because I want to talk about Dylan Moore a little bit, but like a lot of the guys that are really fast aren't everyday players.
Right.
Yeah.
That was tough for me. That was the only reason I didn't pick Dylan Moore, but I like the Dylan Moore pick. So I want to hear what you have to say.
So I've got Dylan Moore. I think that comes into play with, I was talking earlier how Seattle's kind of a team of misfit toys where they can play whatever position. I think this year, without having that solid third baseman right now locked down, I think that job potentially becomes Dylan Moore's. or an Abraham Toro, and then Dylan Moore becomes their left fielder or some shit. I think he's going to be more of an everyday player. In 126 games last year, he had 21 stolen bases, and he was only thrown out where'd it go? 5 times. So it's a pretty good percentage. I think as long as he can get up there and get on base consistently, because he was only batting 181 with a 276 on base and had 21 stolen bases.
And it was only in 126 games.
Right.
That's
so
insane that he had that many.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you can show up out there, get your on base up to 330, 340 for me, that'll and then give him 20, 30 more games. I mean, the boy could have up to fucking 40 stolen bases if he tried.
Right.
So I've got him coming in at 28 because, like we said, steals are diminishing around here. But I like that a lot. So that's where I stay. I don't know.
Okay. Dan, Mr. Dan.
Yeah, this one was tough. I went a little bit out on a limb here with IKF, Isaiah kind of Falefa. Falefa. I always add the R at the end of it.
Falefa.
I have him coming in at 30, which I mean that's high, obviously, but hear me out. Here was my thought process on coming up with him.
Okay.
With having more pop in the lineup, that means that those hitters are going to see more breaking pitches.
Mm-hmm.
More breaking pitches means the higher the likelihood for whoever's on base in front of them to steal.
Mm-hmm.
So that assuming that IKF 1 is batting ahead of like a Seager or a Semien or whoever, that's a big piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, that he's actually playing every day because they're going to have to either move him back to third or put him at short and move Corey Seager to third.
Right.
Which is probably the smarter play because he's already got a Gold Glove at short anyway. So just might as well let him move back there. And Seager's going to have to move to third at some point. So, I mean, he had 20 last year. Yeah, exactly 20 last year, and which was, a career high by far. But I'm hoping that a combination of him getting on base, which, I mean, he gets on base a lot. I mean, 312 last year, 329 the year before, 325 his rookie year. So he gets on base. That's not an issue. But he also hasn't had anybody behind him. So pitchers weren't afraid to throw fastballs nonstop. And you're not going to steal when guys are throwing a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. You're going to steal when they're throwing that 70-mile-an-hour changeup in the dirt or curveball in the dirt. So I think all of that maybe leads to it. And I could very well just be super overthinking it, which is very possible. But that's
I've
where
only got
I landed on him.
2 things about that is I really am concerned as to where they're going to play him because – I mean, what do you do? Like, he's been a middle infielder. He's been a catcher. He's been a third baseman. He's done all of that. They've got catcher locked down with 3 fucking prospects.
Right.
Third base, we're not sure of. So it is going to be that left side, I believe. But then you've also got to look at his stats here. So he's got 40 more points in on-base percentage than Dylan Moore and played almost 40 more games and had 1 less stolen base.
Right.
So Dylan Moore is going to beat all of you guys. That's basically all I'm saying.
I think that was the game for Seattle last year, though.
Yeah, I agree.
The IKF thing will be interesting. I pulled up some of his splits here, and I agree with you, Dan, that he kind of needs to hit in front of a lot of these guys. And he did take most of his at-bats in the 1 or 2 spot in the lineup.
Yeah, he generally leads off.
But he was a significantly better hitter when he batted 7. So he had a 660 OPS batting first, 656 OPS batting second, and an 873 OPS batting 7th.
Okay,
Those are the only 3 spots where he had like significant time at. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, I don't know how you play that if you're the manager, but just I don't know, food for thought. I wasn't really even making like a point there, but I had Shohei leading in stolen bases. I don't know. He led the AL West last year.
Solid.
I don't know if he's going to hit as many home runs as he did last year. So I think that's going to come out to more doubles probably, or more singles, putting him on base more, give him more opportunity. And there'll be more, hit and run situations or whatever, situations where they're looking to move a runner over with Trout and Rendon hopefully being healthy. So I think he'll get the chances when he's on base. But I'm only putting him at 25, though.
Yeah. I agree, dude. I agree.
Okay. How about the ERA?
Sorry, I was still looking at numbers. Real quick, just so you guys know, in 108 games as a third baseman, IKF is batting 276, 340, 375, and 715. So, you might be onto something there, Dan. Let's see. Just shift him on over to third. Fuck it.
I know things sometimes.
Shift
Even
him
when I
over to
make it
third, bat him seventh, and he will be the best player in Major Leagues.
See, it's so easy. Why aren't we managers, bro? All right, ERA, Dan O. Let's hear it, bro.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I'm still real high on Robbie Ray. So I've got him at a 2.92 ERA this year, which is slightly higher than what he had last year when he had a 2.84. So here's to hoping he makes me look good.
Yeah. I got Lance McCullers. I know I didn't put him in my rotation, but I expect real big things from him this year. He's been so consistent his whole career. His ERA is consistently, mid to low twos. I mean, aside from like 2020 where he kind of blew up, but I'm not even going to worry about that. That was a year after A, Tommy John, and B, it was 2020. So I don't give a shit. His all-star year, he had a 4.25 ERA. So obviously we don't give a shit about that. His lowest came last year. In 28 starts, he had a 3.16. I think he lowers that down to right around 3. I've got him coming in at 3.02 because I do believe we've kind of talked about it. The pitching out there is not amazing, but the guys that are good are like bounds ahead of the other ones. So even if like the division average ERA is like 3.8, Lance McCullers is going to come in at right around 3 and look like a god compared to these guys.
Right.
So
Other
we'll
than
see.
Robbie Ray.
It's
Yeah,
possible.
well, whatever.
Super consistent, both these guys. I went Luis Garcia. Talked a little bit about him earlier. Came up for a cup of coffee in 2020 and pitched a 2.92. Then had a 3.48 last season in 28 starts. I think he's just gonna get better. He just turned 25 years old. I think the ceiling is pretty high for him. Finished second in Rookie of the Year voting last year. I think he's going to keep improving and lower his ERA. And, like you said, Ty, I don't think it's going to take a whole lot to lead the league or lead the AL West in ERA this year. So, yeah.
When I look at baseball reference pages, by the way, underneath their debut, it says what number player they were in Major League history.
Uh-huh.
So I got McCullers pulled
nice.
up. 20,884th, just for shits and gigs. I was like, oh, that means we passed like 20,000 like recently. Wanted to look up who it was. Jose Godoy, a backup catcher for the Mariners. Mariners always out here ruining shit. Let's see. He only played in 2021. Jose Godoy did. He had a negative .1 WAR, 162 batting average in 16 games. So that's your 20,000th player right there, boys.
All right. I like it.
Fun stuff.
Wonderful.
Fun facts. All right, strikeouts. I think we all agree here. Clean sweep across the board. It's Robert Raymond.
Yeah. I'm going to pretend like I didn't look up who Robert Raymond was a second ago. I 100% typed Raymond into Baseball Reference and went, oh, I see what he did there.
Yeah, it's old Robert
Yeah.
Raymond.
Yeah.
We're all pretty consistent, too. Tone's got 237. I've got 240. Dan, you've got a career high, I believe, at 250?
Yeah. Well, I mean, his career high is 248, which he just did last year. So
Well, right.
when you're going to be pitching against a really bad team like Oakland, which is going to replace Baltimore, and then a bunch of mediocre teams, 250 is not out of the realm of possibility at all.
For sure.
And we can't talk about Robbie Ray without mentioning the fact that he is the all-time MLB history highest K per 9 leader right now with 11.2, which is awesome. So
That's so weird. That's so weird.
yeah.
It like changes all year. It goes back and forth between like him and Sale and
Chris Sale, yeah.
Chapman and fucking whoever. It's
Yep.
crazy. Neato, gang. All right, saves. This one's always kind of a toss-up because who the fuck knows anymore? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's tough, yeah.
Because it's there are teams who have like their specific closers, but also nowadays it's just like, hey, who's fucking rested? Who's good enough to give me a little whatever? And then we've also got the openers we have to worry about. So like,
Right.
you know, oh, he's not gonna get a save today because he fucking opened yesterday. Like,
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows? What the
This
fuck?
might be the last year we try to predict saves.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's still fun. Like, it's still a part of the game that we have to know. But like,
Right.
True.
Yeah, it's becoming less significant for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, you're the one that has no hair. That's your picture right there with your face.
That is me, my
Who
picture with my
you
face
got,
with no
brother?
hair.
Talk about it.
I went with Ryan Presley. I have him getting 38, which would actually be one less than what the league leader last year, Mark Melanson, had.
Marcus.
Little bit of thought went into this one too. One, I think this is going to be a really, really close division, obviously. So I think there's going to be a lot of save opportunities. Houston coming out on top tells me they're going to win a lot of them. Dusty Baker is more of an old school manager, so I think he does like having that prototypical closer. So I think that is what Presley
He did.
will
Yeah,
do.
he did last year.
Yeah, he did until they got Graveman. Then they kind of went back and forth a little bit, and so I think Presley. I think it's just his job this year. So he had 26 last year, and he wasn't even a full-time closer, I don't think. So I'll take 38. I think that's a good step up because he also had a 5-3 record. So I know he was coming out of the bullpen elsewhere.
Yeah, he pitched in 64 games, but he finished 49 games. So yeah, he definitely had a lot of other appearances that weren't. I'm surprised that the Astros just didn't have a lot of saves last year. They were probably blowing people out. They didn't have a lot of save opportunities, I guess.
Right.
Because he had 26. Javier had 2. Stanek had 2, and Brooks Raley had 2, and then
how many did Graveman have with him?
None.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yep, he finished 3 games, but he pitched in 23, finished 3 of them, but no saves.
Wow.
Brian Abreu and Brandon Belak had 1 each. That was it. So it was 26 for Presley, and then 8 for other people.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. I think they're going to have more save opportunities this year. I don't think they're going to be quite as good.
I
agree. I think I'm going to go with Raisel Iglesias for the division-winning Angels this year. I think that's the exact pick that I made last year as well. I think that we really do kind of sleep on how good this guy is.
Mm-hmm.
So last year he appeared in 65 games. He finished 59 of them, had 34 saves, had a 2.57 ERA. His ERA plus was 174, which is the the 4th highest of his career. He's pretty consistent. He actually got Cy Young votes as well. He finished 11th place in Cy Young last year. He had a 13.2 K per 9.
Ooh.
I mean, boy is nasty. And like you're saying, Dan, there are going to be a lot of save opportunities here in this division. But I think kind of how I was talking about earlier, I think there's going to be multiple closer type opportunities. So I know Joe Madden's usually the type of guy that's like, oh, let's do some wild shit. Let's have the left fielder close this fucking game. But, Raisel is your guy to go to. But I think he's also going to be like, let's not overdo it. Like, let's let a couple of these other little bullpen dudes learn and fucking progress from here. So I've got him coming in at 35 in the lead. So.
Okay.
Nice. I don't know everything you said. I mean, I've got 36, one more, but yeah, everything you said. He was the go-to last year. He led the AL in games finished with 59. So, I mean, it's pretty much his 9th inning, win or lose. So
he's got a career 3.06 ERA. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm very upset that I sleep on this guy so hard because I did like him a lot with Cincinnati, but I know that like there towards the end, everybody was like, "Oh, he's fucking blowing up out there. He's not even the fucking guy that he was anymore." He was still fucking fine. I mean, 2020 he finished with a 2.74 ERA. So
his only bad year was 2019. It wasn't even that bad. It was just he probably let up a couple extra home runs or something because, he had a 4.16 ERA, but he still had 34 saves, just like he did this past year.
So. Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, his walks per 9 has gone down basically every year. So he's getting more control as he goes, striking out more guys as he goes.
Sub-1 whips.
Yeah.
Love it.
That dude's nasty. Hell yeah.
Love it. Nasty.
Nasty boys out there.
Nasty.
Okay.
Is that all we got?
That it? Did we do anything else on this show or what?
I think that's it, buddy.
That's it. Beautiful.
When do the wieners come out?
Oh, the what?
The
winners?
We're talking wieners?
The male genitalia that I was promised would be on this one? No?
Mine's been out
Is
the
that-
whole time. What are you talking
Is that when we go off camera? When we make the live show not live anymore?
That's right, big guy.
That's what it is. Okay.
That's right. Beautiful.
Sorry, Coda.
Thank you. Thank you guys for listening. We super appreciate it coming out here to our first installment of the annual division predictions. Yeah, annual division predictions. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
So we do this every week, every Monday, 6:15-ish. The live streams are on our social medias. They're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. All of those are Upper Decker Podcast. We also have an Instagram and a TikTok. Both of them also Upper Decker Podcast. We're gonna try and do a lot of TikTok-y type content this season. So make sure you're following over there. We got a bunch of good ideas. We're really going to start hammering down on those once baseball gets back into the grind of it. Other than that, dude, I don't know. If you're not tuning in for the live stream, you're kind of a dummy. But if you want to listen to it, where can they do that, Tone?
You big dum-dums, you can go to...
We're really mean to the listeners this week.
I wonder why no one listens to us.
You can go to pretty much any streaming platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, lots more, and search for Upper Decker Podcast. If you go to our anchor page, anchor.fm/Upper
Anchor?
Decker.
I barely know
Finish
it.
it. There it is.
Anchor.fm/Upper Decker Pod. You can see a full list of all the platforms we're available on. No matter where you listen to us, please leave us a review or a rating while you're there. It helps us tremendously. And if you would like to donate monetarily, monies, cash, Dan will tell you how to do that.
Do it, Dan. Tell him.
He absolutely will. If you want to be a monthly contributor where you give us money every month, which would be awesome, you can head over to anchor.fm/upperdeckerpod/support. You can sign up in denominations of 99 cents, $4.99, or $9.99. If you would like to not commit long term, which, I get it. You can head over to paypal.me/upperdeckerpod, and you can make a one-time donation that way. And any amount that you want, if you want to get us to shout you out on the show, if you want to make Ty say something dumb, or if you just want to, shout out your business, give us $20 or more and let us know what it is that you want us to say or shout out, and we will happily do that for you as well.
God, I love to hear it. Guys, now that nobody's fucking listening, can I just do a dad joke before we sign out?
Always.
Yeah.
We do this every time, Dan? Can we just start doing this?
Yeah,
Just do a dad joke at the end?
Yeah.
What is the best kind of bear there is?
I don't know.
A panda.
I like it. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's
I
good.
approve.
Come back next week for episode 94 of the Upper Decker Podcast. I love you. I love you so much. Goodbye.